Is there a specific way that you do it that is helpful for folks that you work with?
Yeah. So I think what I try to convey first is that the importance of the content and how expansive it's going to be, because you're going to essentially reach people by putting the thing out as many times as possible, way more than you will in your local area by
Mm-hmm.
just being in a place or talking to your local people. It's a whole world out here, and there's so many people that can be helped by your story and the content and information that you have to deliver. So once that's conveyed and understood, it now goes into, all right, this is the piece we're making. How do we maximize it on specific said platforms? But how do we maximize it to that specific audience?
Mm-hmm.
So things like catchy titles that have keywords and SEO searches
Mm-hmm.
to say, hey, this, and this targets this audience. And once you have that base audience in, they're going to tell their next people,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just going to keep building in that community. So by using tools like Answer the Public, like it's a great tool of typing a word in and seeing how that word is triggered throughout the internet. And then using AI tools to create descriptions for 30 different short form contents, or even using Opus Clip. Use the tools available, because that's going to save us time and give us more ability to create more content going forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this.
Mhm.
So, I'm definitely a fan of, so every month, at the end of each month, I'll go through, especially on like my different social media, I'll go through and I'll look at, what clips hit the most. What did people resonate with the most? What
Yeah.
topics, what style
Running through
even?
the analytics. Yeah.
Running through the analytics, right? And even if it's like right now, I'm looking at stuff I was posting this time last year, that I only posted one time. Even if it was, I only posted it one time on Instagram or Facebook,
Yeah.
right? Those are the two where I spend the most time. I be on other stuff too, but like I'm specifically like doing stuff on those two.
Yeah.
So what I'm getting at though is I'll look at those pieces in those videos and I might find a way to post that same reel again and post, or take the same content and information out and make a new one. Because over the last year, I've gained new followers. I've gained not just new followers, but my reach has expanded beyond what I was reaching last year.
Good.
A different audience even than what I was reaching. Last year I may have had more hits from people that know me personally, and this year I'm reaching beyond just my immediate community. So what I'm getting at is like, how many times is too many times in your opinion to post the same stuff, the same, whether it's the same video or whether it's just the same content from a video? In your opinion, how many times is too many times? Is there a too many?
Until you run out.
Okay.
I don't think there's a too many, because on the platforms, it doesn't matter how many times you post, the same people aren't going to see the same stuff.
Yeah.
There might be a small group of people that actually follow and connect with your content, but everybody's not going to see the same thing, especially between TikTok, Reels, and stuff like that.
And they'll
Shorts.
forget.
Yes, exactly.
We take in so much.
What was that I saw 2 weeks ago? I don't remember. I remember who made it. Now let me scroll through their feed. But now, if you're consistent with it, you're scrolling through the feed and you're just like, oh, I didn't see this. This is new.
Yeah.
So now it's like you're consuming more. So I don't think there is a too much. I think there is a target. And I've posted, so you have regular content and then you have event content. Event content, I feel like you should know that there's an event happening, no matter if you come from somewhere else. If you follow the page, you need to be continuously reminded. For example, I went to an event I shot yesterday. There was one post about it, but the person knows people, so they're all connected. It was intertwined, connected kind of thing. But I personally feel like at least every other day there should have been a post, a reminder, something. I don't know. I don't follow the specific page, but I actually only saw one post of the event. And so when I see the things, I'm like, hey, I'll tell the people, like, why you only post this one time? Let's maximize the ability by giving people opportunity. You can always archive posts.
Yeah. And you know what? Since meeting you, that has been a thing that I've had to work on too, of just like events and not getting into the trap thinking that if I posted too many times within a week, it's a problem
Mm-hmm.
when it's not, because like you said, there's some people who missed it.
Yeah.
And then even the people that saw it, remind them again.
Yeah.
And keep reminding them so it sticks. Like the repetition really makes it stick.
It does.
I love that there is no too many until you run out. So you were saying, so there's the event content, but then there's another piece of type of content.
So,
what's that?
General content, if it could be general content for me is anything that's not event based, because events is there's
It's
something
one-time.
something you need to come to. But general content can be anywhere from podcast to information or conversation.
They can always be reused. Yeah.
So what I like to do with those to really maximize that is batch create.
Yeah.
Because now when you start posting short form, it's not the same thing over and over again with the same people or same topic. You can mix. So like for people that are starting podcasts, I do a decent amount of podcasts for people. So when they start their shows, I like to batch create their shows, because then for the next 3 weeks after that, you can have content from multiple different shows.
Yeah.
One showing versatility and reaching different markets early in your show base, because if you're talking about one thing on one show and then that's all that's posted for a week, people that need to hear what you talked about next week might not click follow because what you're talking about now doesn't resonate.
Yeah.
So just having a variety of information to deliver.
Yeah.
Off top.
Absolutely. No, I love that. That was like the biggest thing I wanted to hit, because I think I've found that there are folks who will literally just post something one time and then wonder why it didn't work.
They haven't seen the traction.
Yeah, they don't see the traction. It doesn't work. And it's like, well, give it some time and then post it again. Yeah. Because the shelf life of content, especially on these, like you said, not even just necessarily, not really YouTube. It's different on YouTube, but the shelf life of content on other platforms, it is so like you post it and within 24 hours, unless it literally goes viral, within 24 hours, it's done. It's a wrap. It has came and gone. Yeah. Sometimes within not even a full 24 hours, just depending on how many people you might follow and how much you see in your feed.
And that's why like paying attention and studying your analytics is so important.
It's key.
Because then you can break down the demographics of people that are watching your stuff, what time they're watching, what region
they're watching it.
They're watching. So all that's important, because the development, like, so there's a generation of people that just see content as what young people are doing, but
it's just wild.
While their business lines are going down because they're not where the people are. Even there, it's a weird little gap there. And so it's like, if you're not where the people are, you're not going to be able to grow.
Yeah.
And I referenced like the Walmart before. It's like Walmart's everywhere. They're where the people are. People need things from. So deliver to them. The less you're delivering, the less you're going to be able to use your gifts and talents to be able to help other people. And helping other people is how you're going to get to where you want to go. Everybody has big dreams and aspirations of doing and being, but you have to be, do, have. And so if you don't, if you aren't, you can't do, so you can't have. So like when people are asking me questions, I'm like, have you done? And if you haven't yet done, don't ask me questions, because you're taking me away from doing in order to having was for me. Yeah.
And you haven't taken that action step.
Yeah, the actions are so important.
You asking me hypothetical questions and you ain't taking no action yet.
I'm like, have you done this, and this? And it's like, no, I never even thought. Well, okay, well, we're in the right place. Let's think.
Well, there you go. Let's think. Just think about it for a second.
Take them out.
And that's a big thing, because even in maximizing content, and you get so caught up in information paralysis. Where you're asking all these questions and you're trying to always trying to learn something new. Like, I need to do this new tactic. I need to use this new thing and that new thing. And it's like, but you have good things to share. You just don't do it.
Exactly.
That was great. What else you got?
I want to ask you a couple questions, especially like it's different creating content when you're a solo content creator versus having a content team.
Absolutely.
And so from people on YouTube to businesses, you have larger YouTubers that have teams.
Yep.
Then you have businesses that have teams, but then you have businesses that are solo and YouTube creators that are solo. as a business and as a creator
Yeah.
in that market, how do you feel like you're maybe behind the mark of where you want to put out content because maybe you don't have this 3 or 4 person team that one person records, or maybe somebody records and edits your stuff and you're able to freely think and create? How do you feel about that structure?
Ooh, ask me one more time.
Yeah, let me condense that because I did give a lot of context before I ever asked the question. Um, how do you feel as a creator,
Mhm.
essentially kind of creating the things on your own versus having
Yeah.
someone that comes in, shoots, records for you, and
Mhm.
post where you can freely think and create yourself?
That's a great question because I tend to fall into because I have spent a lot of time doing it for other people and coming in with the equipment and doing the content for other people. It is not as difficult for me to just go ahead and do it. I think for me, it's more of a control thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Like, there is opportunity to possibly get somebody else to be creating certain things for me to come in and do things, but I just don't want to relinquish the control yet.
Yeah.
And that's just like a creative control. I don't know, creatives, we tend to be real like this is how I
This
like
how I
it.
see it. This how I want it.
Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I will say, so as a solo content creator, because I think I fall into the trap, not the trap. I think I fall into both of like, I am a solo content creator where my content I created myself. My husband, he is always there to like help. Like he sets up stuff and I'll be like, hey, can you hit record again? Like, thankfully I'm married to someone who like is not like averse to it. I know
Yeah.
there's some couples out there where like one might be really into it and the other one may not be that much. He's not a photographer, videographer, or anything, but he just has a value for creating content and being
Well,
out there.
that's just a great spot.